Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll. Okay, I went flower shopping yesterday to 3 different nurseries, and I have 2 more I'd like to go to, but I bought thrillers, fillers, and spillers. So watch out, empty containers, because here we come. And I found another Centilena. And this is just a ground cover, but I'm going to grow it in a pot, I think. I had one in the ground at one time, and I tried to move it to a pot, and it killed it. It died. So don't you just think this is the prettiest little filigree look? And it's that pretty powder blue. So I love it. And I found this pretty orange barberry bush, and so I'm ready to find a spot for it too. I'm sure that color belongs in my garden. However, I did not find any of the purple or any other of the double petunias, and I really wanted that in with this little pot. I did this little pot last night, and let's see, I already had this. This is from the window, but I thought it might not fill out as much as I wanted, so I saw another one, and I did go ahead and purchase 2 of them. I don't know if you can, excuse me while I kind of hold these together here a little bit and see if you can tell how these two, lost it there, so okay, how these two, the pretty round of the petunia and these more forked leaves, when they blend together, they can look absolutely stunning. So that's what I'm going for. But I did have this little petunia already, so I wanted something to kind of go with it. So I picked white and this beautiful color here. They had some really pretty of the petunias that are blended colors. They had red and yellow, which you know is one of my very favorites for just catching your attention, but I thought this one looked best for this pot, and that's what I wanted here. That, and I was trying to find some double petunias, which I have not yet. If I find some of those, I'll definitely try to get them, but so far I think I'm going to be happy with this little container garden. There's a butterfly down there. I don't know if I can get it for you, but I would like to. He's trying to get away from me though. So right now the plan is to pick a pot and go for it, and I think I may just pick this little pot right here because my angel fell off and I need to put her back up there, but I think it'd be a good idea to fill this little pot up first. I'm thinking maybe some perennials for this pot though, so I'm gonna kind of figure that out and see what I come up with. Okay, it doesn't look like much now, and I'll remove this little fencing stake later, but she's glued back on there, and I just want something to give her a little support, just a little balance bar if the wind starts tipping her over. But I know they don't look so great right now, but I think they will be eventually. This is one of the tall phlox, and I did not get as much of the root as I would have liked to, but I got enough of it. I think it will live. And then I chose this columbine because even though the bloom is about to go, it will still have a pretty little foliage, and I would show that to you now, except it's all wilted down right now. But if it puts its root down and goes, the columbine has a pretty little foliage even when it's not in bloom. And then this taller one on this side of her is a verbascum. It's in the hollyhock family, like a miniature hollyhock, and it's a bright yellow. And I also put some of the which is also all wilted down, but some of the white yarrow, ballerina yarrow in here, so that should fill it out pretty good. And there already was just a little bit of I don't know if you can even see it right now, but there was a little bit of Sweet William in there that hadn't bloomed yet, so I'm hoping it will still. I actually dug it up and raised it up some, so it's kind of all wilty too, but I watered it good, and I'm going to give it a chance, and hopefully it'll be good. We're going to have 2 this day and another day of heat, and then it's supposed to get slightly cooler, which will be so great. But I just don't do well with the heat, and my little plants don't do well when it's extremely hot. But hopefully this will one day be beautiful. If it should make it, and if not, we'll just try something else. These are just starts from the garden, so this one didn't actually cost me anything for today. So while there is so many pots in the back that I would like to fill, and hopefully will, but not today, because I'm going to go ahead and go around to the front and try to get it all filled out first. So probably first of all, I need to take these that the snails ate up and redo them. On this little pot, I think the soil was too heavy, so I put some lighter soil in and even added a little extra perlite, white stuff you see in there. It helps it drain better, and I'm going to see if that will help it. And also I took the old dead stuff out of it and just clipped the stuff that showed some signs of life, and put a little rooting powder on it and put it in here. So these are in here with no root, and they look scraggly and terrible, but I've had them to come out and just look just great. Just fill it out and flow over the pot. So I'm hoping that's what this one will do. And then I did go ahead and put some little alyssum in here, this little purple alyssum, and I put this, it's got a little bit of color, so you can see it's got some purple in it too, which I wanted purple because I thought it would bring out the pretty little purple veining in this green coleus. So we'll see how that will do. And I also noticed that it has another little color. I think this is pink on the side of it, but I didn't take them apart. I'm just going to leave them in. I'm not sure what color this one is. Some of the dead ones that I clipped off of it looked like they might have been purple, so we might still have our purple and green color scheme going here. We'll see. And so next is going to be this little pot. I'll have to see what I can do with it, and hope that whatever I do, the snails will leave it alone. I love putting the little pots together, but I do not like having to redo them. But this little pot got begonias, 3, 2 on each side and 1 in front, and then one you can't see. It's not a begonia, but maybe I can get it to where you can see that there is a little red velvet coleus on that side. And I'm hoping that that coleus will actually grow up and you can see her all around this little girl. So 2 pots done, and next I'll try this black one here, which did get one of them to live, and a pretty little piece of a earth sign, I believe that is right there. So, but the ones in the back are totally dead, so I'll have to redo it also. I did put some gravel on this one. I don't know if that will help deter the snails at all or not, but I thought it couldn't hurt. Today is May the 17th, and I had such high hopes when I started out, but after I got these few little pots, and I did finish this one up and this one, I did go ahead and put some more little impatiens in this one. But I really didn't get very far at all, and the wind is so strong and it was so hot, and that old hot wind just wore me totally down. I finally went inside and worked on the computer a little bit. But I've got to get busy enough to at least get things watered and sprayed so that the snails don't eat up everything I did. I put some little purple vinca or periwinkle in this pot and a little verbena right there, and if they will fill out and live, they will be beautiful one day, and I'll show how beautiful they are to you. Right now everything's kind of scraggly. Even if it looks good, it's at a scraggly place right now, but it will advance right on to beauty. It's what I'm hoping it will do. This one still looks good. Hopefully it'll stay that way and the snails don't just move right over here. But this plot looks terrible. I've got to totally redo it. And I didn't even get far enough to get this little plot. I like this polka dot plant in the back, and I liked the little white impatiens all around it, but they're gone. They're just totally gone. That's from snails. So I'll have to take those out and try again and keep it sprayed, and hopefully they'll get a good start and the snails will leave them alone. Luckily they haven't seemed to bother these. If they have, they haven't killed them yet. I don't know if anything will make it in this pot. There's a little bit of life there, but there's a whole lot more death there than there is life. All these will not make it. And I'll spray for snails tonight and hopefully refill those up tomorrow or as soon as I possibly can. I wanted to get a whole lot farther on this today, but I just did not. I did find another little variegated Swedish ivy and put in this pot. It shouldn't have to be redone if I could grow it through the winter and bring it back outside alive, but at least I was able to find some more, and it usually does well for me outside. And I filled up this little pot. I had this little pink polka dot plant in it, and I put a little impatient and a begonia in there, so hopefully those will do well enough there to look pretty all season. I'm glad that this pretty little coleus has made it so far. One of my favorite lines in A Beautiful Mind is when his wife told him, maybe try again tomorrow. And that's what I'll do. I'll try again tomorrow and see what I can get done. I also did plant some zinnia seeds in these little pots. We'll see if they will come up. And I also planted zinnia seeds in this little pot and some alternanthera. So we will see how that will do too, if it will come up and do well, which I hope that it will. And of course I have the pretty little bells of Ireland in this end of it here. They already have little bells on them, and they will probably get fairly tall. They usually do. So, and this may be just a weed. I think it is actually, but I'm not sure. I did also plant some poppies here, so I'm gonna wait and see what they become, but I have a feeling they are a weed. But I would love for them to turn out to be poppies. Okay, today is May the 18th, and I'm starting a new day from my disappointment of not getting much done yesterday. But also, this is a good time to show all the people who think that a gardener just walks around in beautiful splendor all day enjoying 65 to 70 degree weather. Actually, a gardener never stops. Just like housework. It's never finished. And I did go ahead and trim out my old roses like these that this one was going back to, and I did put some brush killer at the end, at the bottom of it, which may take out the whole tree, or it may not even take out the part I want to kill. But really, I would love to keep this beautiful orange rose, and I know it's not looking pretty right now. That's part of the thing I wanted to show you, that the gardener really needs to come out here and get rid of all these old roses so it can bloom again. But it does have at least this one gorgeous rose on there that you can tell how beautiful this rose is, and that I really hope I don't lose it. But if it's between losing it or letting it go back to the old rose, I just as soon go ahead and lose it and find a rose from its own root. And I'm sure hybrids are wonderful if you never get temperatures that go below what they can handle. But in Oklahoma we do, not all the time, not every winter, but enough that all of mine except this one have gone back, that I got that were not, didn't have their own root if they were grafted on. So this one I hope to get to keep, but if I lose it, I'll just try to find an own root rose to replace it. And this honeysuckle, I thought about trying to get rid of it, but I just love the scent so much. And it's strange that I can't smell it in the heat of the day, but at night when I'm watering late in the evening, it just wafts across and smells heavenly. So while this beautiful little knockout rose is just at its peak and looking great, so many of my roses look like this. All these little, where there was great beauty, now it's just a bunch of little nubbins that need trimmed off of there. Will I get to it? I don't know. Probably not today, but maybe soon. And there's one to show you how beautiful it was. And hopefully before too long I will, but right now I've got to make getting my little plants in a priority. They've already had to wait later than I like, but I had to take care of my health and other things, and we're just doing as the best we can. And the peonies all need to be clipped back, and the iris all need to be clipped back too. I don't know if you can tell from here. I tried to pull over there where you could, but almost all the pretty iris blooms are gone, and they look so much better if you get these old dead tops off and just let the pretty sword foliage shine for the rest of the season. Look what else I noticed. Those stupid snails. They have destroyed and are trying to destroy more of my impatiens, and I do want these to be all the same color if possible. So actually I went to the nursery and looked, and I found, I think, two. They were in a mix. When I know one of them is the right color. I'm not even sure about the other one. So we will try those, and hopefully they will work. And I've got to keep some of that insecticide that I use for snails. I've got to keep it at the ready. I can't just use it up and wait till I make some more up, because I do it from a concentrate, because I need it all the time. I need to use a lot of it. So, but I'm hoping that this will still have a chance to be all one color and be gorgeous before the season is over. But it was so disappointing to think yesterday when I finally did go in, because of that hot wind just wearing me totally out. It was so disappointing to think that everything that I got accomplished was to fix the pots that the snails had eaten everything out of. So we're giving them another chance, and hopefully things will work this time. And soon everything will be ready to go and to grow and to look beautiful. That's what I'm hoping. Look how these have already filled out so much. And so we're going to have several hydrangeas this year. So excited about that. I've had a hard time getting hydrangeas started in my garden. But you can see I didn't get very far here because I've got stuff everywhere. This is my plan for today, to get this one and this one fixed back up, and however many more I can. This one also, which I think I showed you last night, but it's destroyed from the snails, and I want to try again. I also soaked these little castor beans last night. There's actually 3 of them in there, and I'm going to plant all 3. And I'll probably pull 2 of them up, but I only want 1 just because you have to remember to take these seeds off before they crack and break open. And if I have them all over the garden, I will forget some of them for sure. May forget the one, but we'll try to get that one. Look, you can see where I had it last year, and I'm actually going to plant it just right close to that one. So that little job is done. The thing about planting, it looks like you're not doing a thing. There's nothing there. But the other wonderful thing about planting is that when it pops up and then when it blooms, and just, that's all from that one little act of planting a seed. Okay, it's the end of day 2 of planting. And it's such a slow go. But I've got a few little things done. I did put another little one right here in this one. I did go ahead and leave this, and I'm hoping it will be able to come out of it, and I'll be able to kill the snails and keep them from destroying it. So I did get this little one's pot filled up again. I did leave one of those scraggly little white ones in it, but the other ones sure look better. I did put a little bit more of catnip in this pot, and we'll see how it will do. I put a few little impatiens in each of these little pots. Until there's one back there too, and another one that I filled up in this one. So see, I did go ahead and get this little one redone also. I did these little pots, and I actually dug up some of my lilies and put in the back of this pot. And this pot got little red impatiens, which are not looking good, and I did water these. They look terrible. They're so droopy, but it is extremely hot out here. Tomorrow and the rest of this week is supposed to be cooler, and maybe that will give us some help, me and these little plants, trying to get them in the ground. I did this little pot. It's just got some little, I think they're called blue pearl impatiens, and if they fill it out, I think they'll look good once they get full and lots of pretty bloom. And then this little pot, I just put a sun coleus in there and some creeping jenny, and that's really just about as far as I got. I did a few things on this side, but not that much at all. I'm going to take you over here to where these little squirrels are, because I did go ahead and get these. I just put a red penta, a red salvia. I put a small little white dianthus in the center, and then some more red vinca or periwinkle around it. It feels like a tremendous amount of work for no more than I got accomplished, but that's looking at it when it's new, And when you get all that in and it begins to fill out and look beautiful, that's really all I'm asking of it and hoping for, because I know that they could all do like those little impatiens and disappear entirely, and I'll have to put something else in here or let it go, which if I can at all, I'll put something in it. And I know I need to do some upkeep on this little one. It's got a bunch of old dead stuff there that didn't make it when I first brought it out, and the heat and the wind. That wind was terrible, but there's still enough life there. I think that once it's gotten, I think it already has toughened up quite a bit, and I'll cut that old stuff off and we'll try it again. So check us out as the season goes on, and we'll see what lived and what thrived and what became beautiful. Please be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel.